Back to the late night show, okay? Benson, that's your idea. Come and join us, man. Yes, we're gonna you guys gotta keep it going. People keep it going. Oh, don't run away from that. Lord, they'll come back. Yeah. Hey, these guys. I bring in. Okay, you guys will come. Okay.
Normally, I'm still on the other side. That's why I can't be on both sides. The echo will come in.
Oh.
So let me go on the other side. When I end it
Okay.
on the other side, we'll come back over here.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm here for a short while, but I want to other people to chime in. Other people who are taking a nap, they will come in. Let's get it going. I hope I want to ask. Let's ask some other people coming on. Let's get some perspectives about what's happening. Whoever want to jump in, they can get it. We'll get them all. But it's interesting to be. We're here last night at 12 midnight. We had a nice time. We talked, a lot of stuff was said, and we are back again. So let's get it going. Let's talk, man. We had IT today. Let's talk some politics today. Let's get to the end of politics. At least 45 minutes to an hour will be fine, you know. So let's get it going. Let me see what the story for tomorrow says. It says from refugee camp to transformative vision, Liberian Learning Center launch our transformative milestone in Liberia's educational landscape. That's our boy Leo Johnson. Congratulations, Leo Johnson. President Boakar's statement on Capitol building fire mirrors police preliminary findings, predicting the investigation. Wow. So the man, Gary Coleman said it was arson, and that's why the president said it. He's suspecting arson. So Gary Coleman, I don't know why he did investigation, but he just came out and said, well, that's it. So we'll see. We'll find out what happened. But that's the reality. It's the reality. But it's interesting, you know. It's interesting. Guys trying to log on. Yeah, but you know, today I saw that truck about that young man that got. Oh my God! I pray for his soul to rest in peace, and I pray for his family because I was like, oh my God, I was sad. A poor man got up this morning to go to hustle for his daily bread. He never knew he was going to be hit by a truck, smash. And then people there, instead of them rescue the man to save the man's life, they just tune in the truck. I mean, how people, man. By you putting the truck on fire, by you throwing rock at the truck, that will bring the man back to life. The driver escaped. The driver knew you were going to go after him, he escaped. So you're trying to get the man from under the truck or find a way to get him to rescue the man, to save the man's life. You're throwing rock at the truck. Throwing rock at the truck just to, man, it was sad. It was sad. And the thing about these things, nothing comes from all of these things. Investigation, we'll have press conference tomorrow, talk about it, and then you hear about it no more. We saw it just New Year's Day in New Orleans. The terrorist act that took place. Terroristic act that took place. They have over 20 press conferences. I think in the last 2 hours. Everybody will be involved. The FBI officer in charge, the local police, the state police, the mayor, the governor, the lawmakers are all there. But in Liberia, the justice minister, you don't see him go to these press conferences. I know he feels so big to attend it, but they will have one press conference. The director of police will say something one, and he finished with it. Done with it. Once he finished speaking, you hear it no more again. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And it's sad. It's so sad. You know, it's so sad. So that young man the truck smashed that man, and I was like, oh my God. It was so sad. The other one again, the fellow, they say he hung himself in the prison.
Yeah, right.
We stay, I mean, any investigation, then the girl called Princess, where the guy stabbed her. I mean, it should get updates on these investigations, get updates to the people. Tell them what happened. But You just talk one time and you finish. Man, look, and then when you think about you want to relocate home, you move back home, you're thinking about all the kind of safety measures you got in this country. We talk America all day, but to protect us here, you just cannot you just cannot do anything and get away with it easily. You get caught. You got laws here.
But Tamale, you know, let's talk about the police first of all. Okay, listening to Gregory Coleman today, I was so disturbed listening to this man talk about, you know, they invited independent investigators. Then guess what they said?
Yeah.
In addition to that, they already concluded and they knew what happened. So I'm thinking to myself, if you already invited independent investigators, but then you come into the public to tell us something different. What if those independent investigators came to the public and said, look, the information we'll find out is different from what the police provided? What will you say? You're incompetent?
Also, wait, I haven't listened to the press conference. So he said the investigation review, it was arson.
Yes.
Anybody have been arrested?
He said they've not arrested anyone, and he's not willing to share with the public. He's not willing to share with the public. Who is?
That's I call her Senator DeLine. That's the mother of Tangi Bamford, her mom there. But that's Senator Ruthie DeLine. I call her Senator DeLine.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I was just saying.
Ruthie, welcome, happy New Year to all you guys.
Yeah. My point was, hey, I don't see the level of professionalism that is expected of such person. You cannot claim that you have done, you know, you instituted some level of independence. You probably put forth independent investigation, and then here you come out here talking about you guys found this, and you know this is this. You're pursuing people, and when that independent investigation starts, my only question is, what if they were to say something contrary to what you claim? So is it okay then for us to say in the public sphere that you're incompetent? Because that would be the only thing then we were saying you don't know what you talk about. What you're talking about. That's just my point.
You know, we got two good thing tonight. We got two.
Yes, this is the late night, guys.
We got two experience when it comes to they are politically experienced too, both of them. And one of them is a security background, a very trained security person, VIP, and I mean multi-top. Man, she's a trained security woman. I know her very well. I worked with her before, and so and she's a educator, right? I think in education, Destiny.
Yes, I am.
Educator and also a politician too, because she's been involved in politics too, an advocate, what you name it. So, guys, we're just talking about this. First, give your thoughts about the fire investigation that the director of police announced today. What are your thoughts about it?
I'd like to hear from a security-minded and security-trained lady. That's what I want to hear from her.
Wow.
Nice meeting you.
Hi, nice meeting you guys. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Okay, so we're talking about investigation and interrogation. This is a high-profile case, so you must tread carefully. You can't be too hasty in making an arrest. You need time. The crucial time is the first 48 hours when this thing took place. I've been following this, and as a matter of fact, I'm in Liberia right now. I would be careful how I jump the gun or how I conclude, because all parties involved, you are not guilty until proven innocent. You're innocent until proven guilty, first and foremost. So the question is there anybody under duress? Everybody wants an answer, quick fix to this whole incident that occurred. But I say give the people involved the time they need to do the investigation. The Capitol building is a very vulnerable place. I worked there in the past. I was assigned there at one time, back many years ago. Nobody really monitors anybody. So I heard the police director today, and I listened to the fire service director also. For these two men to come out and say that they have information, I'm being patient and I'm waiting. I think it's only right and fair legally to give everybody involved the benefit of the doubt. We don't know exactly what they have as evidence. So jumping to the guns and assumption flying all over is too premature for me. You need to know more. The key thing in this whole information given to the public is that 24 hours people will be called in, people will be, asked to come in. And if they do, then we start the investigation. If not, you take the second stand, pick them up. But I will hold on. I will not be too quick to jump the guns. And this is coming from a very, very security background. Be patient. High profile cases, you don't rush. Most times in high profile cases, people rush to make an arrest because the public is uproar. Everybody want answer. Oh, who did this? Who didn't do this? Well, this man made the statement. There are times we are all spoken out of context. And then, unfortunately, something happens. So the attention goes on to the person who made the noise, who said, I'm going to do this. It may not have been that person. Investigation is very unique. It could be somebody we're not even thinking about. It could be one of the very same people who are caught up in this thing. So I say, from my background, give it a rest. Be patient. Or your house, guys, let's just listen. Let's follow the story. The truth is there. The truth is always there. And the best person to see or hear the truth is the man listening from the outside. For now, that's what I have to say.
Yasini, you want to weigh in?
Oh, yeah, I do. I seriously do. I think I have a few things that I've said before when this fire incident happened. First, I will agree with her in regards to slowing down. First and foremost, the question I've been asking though, for you to commit a crime, because they're saying this is criminal, okay, you have to have reason, okay, and you have to have opportunity and means. So hopefully the people that they are calling out, they do. Because here it is. I remember a protest had just taken place within that area, and a lot of citizens was brutalized. That place was covered with security. Then the question that begs an answer is, where were the securities? Okay. I listened to a tape on one of the talk show people loud the other day where people are discussing how they went in a bag, they worked to the place, they came back. I think it's one of those Franzamiton issue. If you ask me, that's how I see it. Living through Liberia, through a little bit of Tober into Dole, into Taylor, Ellen, Ruth Perry, Sawyer, Ellen now, and we are in Buakai. I have a lot of reservation. Number one, do we have the experts that need to do that? Do we have people who are trained in fire investigation and fire science? Okay, to know where that started, because here it is though. That place had just burned 2 weeks before that fire, or 3 weeks before that fire started. There was a spark in there, and then there was a burglary. At least they came out and told us that they were doing renovation. So, and prior to that, there was a flood in there. We all saw that. Timberly, we all saw that, where the whole roof, literally, there's a picture out there by Adolphus McCready, where the dome part is out from that water leaking. So from me, who the electronic and telecommunication earlier on, that I have to have low voltage license in what do you call it, electricity. When a place get flooded, sometimes water go in the sockets. Then we drain that out. So there are a lot of things that we can talk about. Two, that building has literally been neglected. Are the wiring in there stay intact? Let's talk about the integrity of the building. Okay, the integrity is not just the structure and the foundational problem. That's the wiring that went in there, the electrical wire. When some of the wires that people were running those days, we have upgraded. Even the telephone system, when that building was up, I think we had one telephone wire. We don't use those anymore. Okay. The plumbing in that building, I don't think it functioned. They're drawing water and carrying it upstairs and all in the building.
Not anymore.
It's fixed now?
Yes, prior to the burn, yes.
Okay, well, they did that for a very long time. Even at that, a lot of work needed to be done in respect to the integrity of the building. That's what I'm talking about. So I think they need to slow down. They need to investigate. I think it's premature. It's just like when I heard the police director came and said about the guy that died, that his look is synonymous with I can't call that name, okay? And for me, you can't look at a person, okay, that passed and assume because they look that way, that's the way it is. There are a lot of things where you're now opening them up yet to know what it is. There are a lot of stuff going on. I always say to them, I know there are a lot of pressure to go, all right? People can talk literally, people can talk metaphorically. So you got to listen and see action. Did the person that you're profiling have the opportunity? What they have the cost? Do they have the means to be there? So I think they need to take time. They need to bring experts and people who are independent minded. And knowing Liberia, like I say, I have my reservation at this point. I do.
But
Mr. George, can I just come in 1 second?
Go ahead.
I think I can honestly speak for some of the people involved in this investigation or who are on the committee for this investigation. You know, most times when things happen like bro, we always cry out for independent, either, let's bring people from out of the country to come in and do this investigation. Let's hear from the pathologists. Let's hear from the specialists in arson. The bottom line is, like it or not, we don't give Liberians enough credit. We have people in these places. I'm not saying all of them, but I don't know the IG to be someone who is impulsive. He takes his time. While it is true, this is, like I said, this is a high-profile case. And anybody who knows anything about high-profile cases, the pressure is on. Everybody wants something to be done immediately. But you have to take your time and look in every direction. Like you said, the building, the structure by itself. I worked in the Capitol building in the early 80s. I went to the States 1984. So our privilege to work in that Capitol building. At this moment, there's so many things we can look at. We can pick up the electrical system, the plumbing, like you said. I agree with you on that. But it could be someone that nobody is thinking of who did this. It could be a person. It could be a group of people. There are too many interior motives. And this thing is highly political. Whether we want to accept it or not, it's highly political. I respect the IG. I trust the IG to do the right thing. This man, IG Coleman, will not just get up and just, off the head, off the record, and just speak. No, he doesn't speak like that. Our privilege to work with him. I know him, the fire director. I say, if you want to add people as independent to this committee, fine. The more the merrier. But we should take politics out of it. Actually, this whole thing started with politics. But if you do an investigation, you won't get to the root cause of the problem. You have to remove yourself politically and dive into the actual cause of this, the root cause of this problem. And the bottom line is, we want to take side as, well, who do you affiliate with? Do you affiliate with this political party or that political party? There's so many reasons we can throw out there why this occurred. But I say, because it's high profile, take your time. And there are competent Liberians on the ground who can actually do this job. It's not every day we will look for someone from Ghana, Nigeria, the United States, UK, or all over the world. There are people, let's give each other the credibility, the respect. Sometimes we just do things with something that I have to say we don't know these people or people. Like Mr. Joyce said, we work together. I know what he qualified, he's capable of doing. So let's give these people a chance. If you want to come on board, fine, reach out to them. If you have the expertise, reach out to them. Join the investigation. But I don't think it's fair to say, let's go and get people from out there. Most times you bring these people in, all they do collect the money you paid and a huge sum of money you paid them, money you're not even capable or willing to pay your own Liberian. But you rather pay someone from the US $50,000 to come in and do nothing. So please, let's take time, like I said, be patient and let these people do the job. I could get up and give my own personal opinion. I'm not going to do that. I'm not at liberty to do that. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, from Mr. Tupa. Maybe I haven't heard from him. Maybe let him give it on this fire investigation and where it's reached right now.
Avatar.
I think both of you in the bureau. I've frozen or what?
It's frozen.
Yeah, but before when he comes in, but let me say this though. My thing is that first the place will honor the protection of the police. I think, like you said, you're in a heat of a major political impasse that's going on right now at the Capitol. Being the 7th October, and so a lot of questions can be asked. Whether it was a foul play, was arsonist or was electrical fault. We don't know, but then the thing is that what critics are saying when the incident occurred, the place wasn't caught on first, and second thing, the president, I don't know whether he was briefed by his security team when he came out and said. He seen the police that came today. He said he believes an arson, whatever, of arsonist. So I don't know whether he was briefed. The question is, the president briefed about it to say, well, from what we see, or he's been misspoke. I don't know, but so based on that, when the IG spoke today, people I haven't listened to the IG yet, but from what I've been listening and reading on social media, people are critical because they felt that he did not provide a sufficient reason to say how he arrived at that result to say it was an arson. That's what people are concerned about. But listen, but me, I don't know. I know you want to say something too. Go ahead.
I wanted to add. I think I lay out a lot of question and made a statement based on my understanding of structural assets or when crimes are committed. And I think, like you said, the possibility of other things, and I'm saying exactly the same thing. What I said is there are Liberians, just like with the appointment at the LU. Oh, congratulations to Dr. Maponya. Okay. But I remember when another Liberian lady named called, people were like, oh, she's not part of our political party. Oh, she's not this, but she's more qualified. Okay. And the good thing is she's not even looking for a job. The point I'm making here is if you have a ministry or a department that has a budget and 90% of that budget is spent on recurring expenditure, and you only have, in fact, more than 90%, you have less than 20%, in fact, less than 10% on operation. How do you then work? How do you do quality work? You're literally getting a paycheck. There are Liberians all over the world that are expert in other things, engineering, structure. You need structure engineers to be a part of that, to understand and study the structure, integrity of that structure. You need electrical scientists who understand the behavior of electricity to tell you what it is. And then it would take a combination of experts to come together. And then looking at that, then the police department will be able to piece those things together. That's why stuff like that, when it happens in other countries, you got different departments working with different departments that are coming together. First, I remember when the fire took place, we came out and said there were hooligans that did it. Right the same day. How did we surmise that? Who are the hooligans that we assume that they did that? How do we know that it was not an accident? It was not a natural occurrence based on everything that has happened in the last 4 months before coming to this full scale. We had a flood that overtook the whole building. We had a fire in there. We also had a construction going on. So many things have come together that will raise a lot of questions. Listen, I'm all about empowering Liberian people. That's what I do. I've never worked for Liberian government. That's all my life. I've advocated for people, for Liberians to not be internally colonized, that we empower Liberians. I don't care where they are from around the world, that they can come home or they can come and contribute to their place. I'm always in Liberia. I was in Liberia 4 times in 1 year. The moment I get a break, I'm in Liberia. So my thing is, because from the onset, we came out and we named people and said they were on court. We also call study criteria. I don't know what hooligans are. We said that directly from the president. Then we came and said, I think one of the representatives had made a statement before all of this came to a fall, even before the place was flooded or before there was the first fire. So we have series of incidents that we also need to investigate. Now, the question I'm asking is, the person that put fire on the building, what's in it for them? What would they gain?
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? I will ask you, I have one question for you, but it's A and B. You mind me asking you?
No, dear, go ahead.
First of all, do you believe in the Liberian National Police?
If I do?
That's the question.
I think that's a good question. Depending on what we're talking about.
Which the same topic we're talking about. And 2, I don't know how much you know, but you sound like this investigation is only being spearheaded by the police director. How sure are you there are not other people from different departments? The police department is made out of different departments. Okay, so it's not just he's the he would be the one, after all is said and done, to come to the public and say this is AYBZ. Okay, so I know you're all about empowerment and all that, But I also, from the way you're sounding, I don't really think you're giving credibility to the Liberian National Police. Because I can tell you straight up that those guys, they have some serious, credible officers, educated, experienced officers. And most times you say, well, bring the guy from Ghana, for example. And the man from Ghana doesn't even know a hoop in the bucket. But something about us Liberians, it must be a foreigner, it must be somebody outside Liberia. I can tell you that this investigation, because you're not aware, this investigation has people from every security member of the security apparatus.
So are you before Yasandi asks that question, I don't want to just interject, but it sounds like you are giving credibility to the Liberian police. That's what you're doing?
I will give credit to the Liberian police.
So if you're giving credibility, if you're giving credibility to the Liberian police, I want you to answer this question. I want you to convince.
Answer my question before you answer your question.
No, the question was for your
question. Okay, go ahead. I'll answer your question. Go ahead.
Your question was for Yasandi, not for me. But I want you to add more juice to your mindset, so Yasandi knows how to answer your question. So I want you to convince Yasandi, myself, and others who may not believe in the Liberian National Police, and we don't believe or doubt the Liberian National Police because of political reasons or because we just want to. But there are instances where cases have not been properly investigated in the past. Many cases, for that matter. There are instances where folks have not been properly charged. Not just in the past, but currently. There are many instances where the Liberian police have proved their ineptitude. So again, if there are Liberians who question the credibility of the Liberian police, I think they have legit reasons why they question the credibility of the Liberian police.
Oh, yes.
But I want you to tell us, why should we trust that there's credibility in the Liberian National Police when they have not proved that they have credibility or should have credibility?
When the situation arises in Liberia, I don't think it's fair to say, oh, the police can't do anything. We have to understand, you put me in a position to serve, and I'm supposed to serve at your beck and call, like we always say in Liberia. Okay, fine. Allow me to do my job. But most instances, we do not allow these people to do the job. And it always boils down to, well, the same political affiliation, or you know who I am, or blah, blah. There's always circumstances that pop up that will not allow he or she to perform to the best or the fullest. And so with that being said, I personally believe in the police, because I guess I've covered the entire security apparatus, but there are competent people. Now, if no one is interfering with this investigation or whatever situation comes up, if you will allow the individual to be properly processed, or you allow the police to do their job without any interference, like I say, you will be surprised at the end result. But most times, we do not. All because you know who I am, political affiliation, all kinds of mumbo jumbo. And that is very frustrating.
But that's where the distrust comes from.
The thing is, though,
that's where the distrust comes from. You have the right to distrust, but you should also give credibility at times. You can't just always distrust.
But credibility is not based on what is just given. Credibility is earned. It's not something we just gave.
Of course,
right? So when you talk about something, when you talk about something that is earned, you can't just demand that it's be given. It has to be earned. So again, when you talk about demanding, you can't. When you talk about one second, please. When you talk about interference, I concur with you that there are many interferences where the police are not doing their jobs independently. But again, the police, it's a political appointment. but the police supposed to be functioning at an independent level. So again, if the bosses of the police, if those who lead the police, those that they've been appointed by politicians, if they demand that they function at an independent level, no one will stop them. But are they demanding that, or are they just doing what the bosses ask them to do? Yeah, Cindy, go ahead.
So it's good to want.
Well, I guess you didn't want me to answer that question, so you pass it on to us. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, yeah.
Question. And listen, those who know me. I didn't live in a Liberia of who know you. I never worked for government. My mother never worked for government. No, my father worked for government. I am the woman I am because I earn it. And I speak my truth. I think maybe you're talking about political party. I never supported we are party. I don't. Okay. So if anything,
what we are party has to do with this?
Hold on, my dear. You spoke and I listen. The only person I supported before 2017 was Pape Bouaka. Okay. And Robert will tell you that. Okay, that's that. But let me come back to the table. If you talk about, do you believe that, like you're giving me a bundle and I don't want a bundle. I don't do a bundle. That I don't do the close-ended yes or no question as an intelligent woman. I just don't, especially based on Liberian history. I can give you common example. What happened to the 3 missing boys? Should I ask, if you ask the parents of the 3 missing boys who were taken, and we still have St. Moses still open, the police still operational, and we're yet to find out what happened to them. How about Gifty Lama? How about where the gentleman from the bank? Let's come fast forward, okay? The investigation I was just going on with the young lady in Musu. Do we know what's going on with that? We just saw not too long ago a young man brutalized, martyred, on live. I actually can pull the pictures and see the faces. And people can find them because the community were able to identify some of them. In no time, the community knew who the child was, where he lived. And we are told, oh, we got 4 people in custody, but nobody can put them on the scene. This is the age of technology, okay? This is the digital age. This is the global village, okay? As an educator, I have my mind to always go beyond where I see. Now, what I see is that when a crime is committed or an incident takes place, and the leader of the nation come in a nutshell and say, "Oh, so kind of people did it." Another group come and say, "Oh, this is the person of interest." That's okay, but the reason these are political appointees. The municipals in Liberia are not elected by the people. They're not answering to the people. As Tourmaline, I think it was Tourmaline, or it was Ava who said that earlier. Okay, you have people. We are a representative democracy. As such, when our lawmaker or our decision maker, before they make decision in the real world, where our people are informed, they're educated of their rights and responsibility. All right. Those people who represent, they're supposed to come to the community, even the city mayor. Okay, you set it in advance 1 year and let the people know this is what's happening, so they have an input before they come. These people make decisions on our behalf. So you want to tell me about police? Even myself, my younger sister, fiance, was just murdered 2 months ago. Okay, right there in Mangibi. The police came and said it was an accident. I can tell you just physically by looking at him. Who have accident, a tree fall on top of them, and the face, the back of the hair is gashed, the front of the hair is gashed, the neck is gashed, the back is gashed. What can I see that? Okay. So when you come to me and ask me that question, it's not a question that I'm going to answer you. Okay, I can't. And you're a security person at the pre-law. So because you say somebody is educated,
I'm a parent too.
Is educated does not necessarily mean they're ethical. When you are ethical person, and most of the people in the position of power, especially in a appointed position in Liberia, they're not ethical people. They work at the behest of the people who appoint them, not for the people of the nation. So that particular question, you can paraphrase or rephrase. I will answer it, but I will not answer it with a no.
No, I'm not going to paraphrase or rephrase. I asked you the question because I was listening to you and I heard exactly what you said. Like I said, When they're appointed, they work at the beck and call of the president or whoever appointed them. So if you allow, all I'm saying is we have competent people, and I'm going to repeat myself. We have competent people in the Liberian National Police, but wherever, okay, so I personally believe in them. Now, whether their hands are tied, that they can function to the fullest, that's something else to dive into another time. But I just don't believe that every time something happens in Liberia, go and bring the independent person from this country and go and bring. We've brought people from outside the country before many times. And the investigation was the same, but you will not understand it and you will not know it because you're not in a circle to know what's going on during the investigation. Like right now, you have no idea. You just heard the IG speak, and of course, since he's the mouthpiece for the LPN, Liberian National Police. Who else will come up and speak? He has to do it. But there are other people involved in this investigation. And they also have partners. There's partnership with other police departments in West Africa, all over Africa, Europe, America. So, you know, you can't just, for me, I will not get up and just say, I don't.
You're saying that
I'm not contradicting myself. I'm not contradicting myself. I said, I will say it. I'm not contradicting myself. I said, this investigation and every other investigation that we all say, these people are appointed, they are appointed. And like they say in Liberia, you work at the beck and call of the president.
Okay.
We can give an incident where I was asked one time to critique the recruits for the police academy. And I know exactly what I went through. I completed the assignment, but at the end of the day, the power that be won. So sometimes we look from the outside, we don't see everything that is happening. There are people who really seriously doing their job. They take their job seriously. Unfortunately for these people, there is always a higher up that has to make the final decision. But when it comes to this, when it comes to the police, I was vouch for them. Yes. It's frustrating for everybody involved, the public and the officers. But this is not the United States. Even in America, there are flaws. Because I live in the United States, there are flaws. Everything is not pink and black. And I know that for a sense, everything is not black and white like you see it. And we say, oh yes, America is doing this. If in America, this is that. Well, this is Africa and this is Liberia specifically.
Oh, yeah, from Ava.
I met the discussion, so I don't know what the
question they're talking about the police IG report today about fire being blamed on our son, and then also my
one question. Yeah. I don't know that the police has the expertise to do forensics on a fire. Did the fire department participate with the police in that particular investigation of the cause of the fire to at least try to find a root cause? Do they have that capability? That's the first thing.
The police, the director of fire services were at the press conference. He spoke. Okay. He also spoke.
If we assume it's a joint effort, I mean, except somebody can bring, a different perspective that it was not arson, then that way I can listen to it. If nobody can bring something factual or something substantial, and the police can show their reasoning or the analysis of why that is an arson, what can you say? You can't argue against it. You can't say it's not arson.
Did you hear it? Did you listen to it?
No, I didn't listen. I will go and listen. They were asking me earlier on the show. I didn't listen. I need to go and listen.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, based on what I'm hearing from people, is that he said it was arson. the concern some people have, and I had, is the president immediately when it happened, the president said it could only be arson. So my thing is, our president should not be the first for potentially controversial situations to utter a verdict, because most times your subordinates will not want to go against that position you take. Sometimes your subordinate want to drive the decision making towards your suggestion or your declaration. So to me, it just makes sense going forward for the president. Joe, we did the same thing with the gifted situation, right?
Exactly.
He said, well, the poor having sex in the phone and in the car, did that. I mean, come on. Our leaders should not be in the forefront. They should let the professionals do their job, the people they appointed to do their job.
My point exactly.
They gotta come with corrective action. They shouldn't be the first one and they gotta go do damage control behind them. So, you know, just future for the president. But for right now, in this instance, if the national police, in collaboration with the fire service folks, say this was an arson effort, who am I to dispute what they say?
He went on further to say that they had evidence and there was some chemical, something they found. Both the IG and the director of fire services spoke. They both spoke.
Okay.
Listen to it. Listen to it.
Before Ava, because we went off. Ava, I know you said you endorsed, and you supported Mr. Cummings the first round, and then I think you endorsed President Boyka the second round. I was asking you, what's
right?
Your
I believe.
Where you take or the first year of President Boyka?
I think the first year of President Boyka, if you look at the foundational efforts they're trying, if you look at some of the output they have done, and you look at the comparison with the international perspective and the engagement, I would say Joseph Boyka is having a better year than the first year that George Weah had.
So
yes, so nobody perfect in Joseph Boyka.
If you're grading Boyka administration in the first year, what you giving?
Oh, I mean, honestly, I'm a very hard grader. I'm a very, very hard grader. I'll get it 65 to 70%. 65 to 70. George, we are first year, but probably like 40 to 45.
Hey,
I'm a hard grader.
Well, so okay, that means
yes, and performing to that level. And it's not clear any of those governments really has set targets for that first year.
Okay, but
you can look at all the noise. You can look at the noise that came from both sides, right?
Yeah.
George, we are them messing with the international people money. Okay. George, we are them Ibomaf, the Eton loan, the Ibomaf loan. Okay, on this side we got 285 yellow machine, right? We got the stuff with in Crispy and supposedly asking even before they came to position, the people at NASCOM to provide cars. They provide cars. We got commitments that they made. Joe will say, "Oh, what? LeBron will start balancing their own economy, enjoying the economy, will be an active part." Zero. On Boyka's side, there were promises, right, that we haven't seen come to fruition. So some of the campaign promises. Look at the MedTech. Look at the CTN. There was to cancel those contracts. I personally have not seen something substantive in terms of what government is really doing to, one, recover the funds that were supposed to be dedicated to government. That is clear. Two, really see if those contracts, rate those contracts. And I think they did audits on those things. I don't know whether they have shared the audit or not. So to a large extent, that the negatives on both sides. But if I look at the overall, yes, people are being killed, right? But look at our situation in our country. Most people suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. And we don't want to recognize it. And some people say an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's a reality. Most people resort to violence or they feel they got to physically dominate somebody before. Look at somebody steal something. They're killing them, but then equip your police. Look at the police budget. There's nothing there for majority of the things that the typical law enforcement group will have. So the legislators cannot sit over there, or we who elected them Can I say there? They don't provide the police with the right resources. They don't even the fire service that could not even go anywhere. Where the fire hydrant at? And I'm more at least I'm bringing water in fire hydrant for the first time in how long. So there's just so many basic fundamental protective and security things that are lacking, that if they don't change the way the budget is structured, I just copy and paste budget again. I mean, I'm disappointed in the budget to see the C number 2025, the C number. No, I mean, we're not putting any work into the estimation of what these budget items really are, what the calculation should be. You know, I'm disappointed. Let's go to a zero-based budget. Let's really look at our economy, look at the government expenditures, and see exactly what each item costs for us to be able to say, yes, this is a legitimate budget. But we're just operating on whimsical things. I mean, you know, so it's just difficult. It's just very, very difficult. You know, so my thing is, people will say X, Y, and Z. When you look at the security system in the country today, you look at the level of freedom that people have mentally.
Yeah,
I think it's different, far different from what Joe, our president. More people feel less threatened today than they felt threatened when George was president. I mean, it's evident. Even right now, I believe downtown Monrovia, that light in Monrovia downtown, it was there before I left. I want to go and do a live from Broad Street. I mean, I used to walk from, let me see, let's City Hall, walk all the way to my house up Ashmont Street, and light used to be there. Okay, people can probably do it today. Okay, people, the fear factor is lower. So if people don't want to accept some of these things, that's up to them. But again, there are some foundational work being done. Not everybody working, don't get me wrong, but there's some foundational work being done in certain ministries to catch up and to try to move the country forward.
You see, what you have to say? If I give the government 65, 70%, what your take? You see me? You freeze on?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, I come from a different place. If I was going bankrupt and I was looking to hire someone, and Ava tells me he's an expert with years of experience, he can come and reorganize my business and get it back on track, like it was done for Pillsbury back then when General Mills were buying all the breakfast company and literally chopping them up. And a man took over that and make sure that that particular organization did not file bankruptcy. This is the case with the rescue. Just let's be clear, I'm not looking for jobs. So even if I were looking for a job, I would still speak my mind. That's the kind of person that I am. I have not been to Liberia this year, so I wouldn't say, but I will frequent in Liberia sometimes 3-4 times in a year, and I travel along villages. Liberia was kind of a little bit kind of scary. It reminded me of, and people were still afraid. That was one of the reasons that people voted the CDC government out. But the people voted believing that their lives were going to be better. All right. Nothing has changed. Let me give you some numbers. We have, I think, $4.6 million for water and sewer. We spend about 82% of that on recurring expenditure. And the question is, when you ask, they say we made it like that. You have some people spending what, over $3,000 for a generator. Then think about it this way. Why would anyone want to make sure everyone in the country, besides the temporary light, called the solar light, okay? Why would anybody in their right mind want to build the infrastructure when they will be losing, especially those who are in charge? Why would anyone want to build the road, expand the road around Monrovia or into the country? Because Monrovia is the only country, and people say Liberia was good. But the time I come from was still dusty. My father still walked to school. My parents, my family still live off the farm. So we never said, you know who I am. everything that I am. I can say anybody, I earn it. I work hard for it. Now, you got every day you wake up in Liberia, that corruption, like the one we're talking about today with the MSA, somebody lying on the MSA about recommendation. Why would the US government give you recommendation? That's common sense. And then no follow up because we want to get contract and get a kickback. I've been through that before. I know what it's like. So we investigate, and we were going to, because everybody were like, oh, Ellen didn't support this time because she was going to be the prosecutor and people were going to be investigated. We done audits. We're yet to find out the report of the audit. So if you ask me to come up and say, I had expectation. When I hear people say lower your expectation, no. My company was failing. All my children were dying. And I hired the best of the best teacher who have been around, or a doctor. I anticipate that doctor will produce, will save the life of my people. When we hear things are happening about you, so let me paint a picture to the Liberian people at all. Coming as the president of the Republic of Liberia, or any nation for that matter, it's like we are a family. And our father said, I'm giving you this. And the group of us here come together and say, you know what, Mr. George, we're going to trust you and Ben to take care of all of us. So here are the resources. Here our rest kitchen. Here our diamond. Here our gold. Make sure all of us live well. But then you and Ben get out, you're going in the back, you decide what you want to do. Then you come back and tell us, we planning, we're working things out with fresh. But meanwhile, you and your wife, you're getting paid. Ben and uncle and auntie, all of them getting paid. All of them becoming thousandaire or millionaires. They got new cars. They are getting paid 6 figures in a country with 3.5 million people can afford to eat a day. Okay, when we talk, I'm here. I spent thousands of dollars last year to keep my people going, and I'm sure you did too. We Liberian in the diaspora, so we have a voice. Don't ever dismiss that. Over 800 million, almost $1 billion. Okay, last year alone. So when we say we're plenty, people, you gotta get your people involved. Listen. When Singapore was coming to being, here is the schematic. We want everybody. We want you involved. This is where we are headed. Give people hope. When America suffered in 1930 and filed bankruptcy, okay, when FDR came, he had a talk show that he would come on, Fireside Chat, and he would talk to the people and say, here's the plan. Hang in there with me. This is how we're going to do it. This is where we're going to be. This is how things are going to be. You can just plan, but when they all want collecting, the rest of the people, they're begging us, they're waking us 3 o'clock in the morning. And then other people, the few people who also there are doing well, the people are always in front of their door. I walk the streets of Liberia where people coming, and you just, I remember one day I went somewhere, somebody gave me food, and I walked and I saw all of the people begging. I literally, my stomach came upside down. And I just started throwing up. And somebody told me you would get used to it. I can never get used to that. Rabbis here, we used to go downtown to feed people that are hungry. We did that in our community. We clothe people. We raise funds to tend to our country. Yes, there are people who are not doing well, but you got 3.5 million people in a country that pays its lawmaker. Okay? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Pay its president over $1 million. America has $1 trillion in budget. Our president made $450,000 a year.
President Burger first year.
Okay. My state budget is $40 billion. 37% of that $40 billion go to education, K1 through 12. But 90% of your budget go in the pocket of a few people. So the people that they're feeling there, that's the people that we answer to. So you ask me, I have expectation. We have 40 years of experience. My papa knew that Liberians were dying, they were suffering, that the country was in free fall, autopilot. He said it on Arise TV, and they still falling now. They want, and not even auto is headed unless something happened. So if you even 40, because if you talk about somebody were comparing Josh Weah came with no experience. That's what we were told. We were told he didn't know what he was doing. He was going to bring the expert. And he said to all us too. But the people said, we just love him. But if I hire,
So what a grades for the two now? What a grades for the
What
two?
a great.
so I stop. I hope I'm not. This is me.
What
though.
a grades for the two?
Let me
First year, what a grades?
let me jump in.
Lower it.
No, Raul, wait. Don't jump.
No.
You let her jump. What a grade for the first for Weah, and what a grade for Boyka for the first year?
So, like I said, for Weah, I didn't have no expectation.
So 0?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Yes, why? Weah came and told
No,
he had
don't
no
get
experience.
explanation.
Exactly.
Don't get a long explanation again. If you got grade, fine. What a grade for Boyka?
I said 40.
Okay.
Based on the morale he
You're
came
Miro.
with, based on the
Oh,
experience
40, okay.
in all
40%.
facets. Huh? And the country
No,
is
fine. I
plagued.
agree.
Yes, the country is plagued with corruption more than we talked before. The biggest thing that happened, in fact, the moment and Val, the moment we are took over, all the UP people, we started protesting. We started protesting right away. We never stopped until we are left.
Okay.
I'm one of those people.
So,
I led the charge every time, especially in the
Again,
US.
people can protest on a boycott. What's wrong with protesting? Protesting is a
The last time the
democratic
people
right.
protest, what did they do?
democratic
They
right.
brutalized them
Protest.
and locked the whole place. Now we came by and they say they burned the place down. The same people where they beat up.
Well, the people protesting every day, yeah.
Listen, I have to jump in. Can I jump in for a second?
No, Rob, what are here for you?
Because I think Cindy is being very generous to even give
Actually, I am.
to even give this government a 40%. And I'll be honest. I think let's put this in perspective, right? I personally, because I know Isaac, he's an intelligent big brother. But I think I understand why Isaac and many others supported Joseph Boakai. I don't think Isaac supported Joseph Boakai because Isaac felt that Joseph Boakai would truly rescue Liberia. Because Isaac, of all people, know that Joseph Boakai has no track record of rescuing anything. In fact, when Joseph Boakai was given the opportunity to act like the elder, like the most experienced in the room, and to bring his younger brothers together, look at what he did at with the CPP. He threw in he's threw in the White Tower. I mean, it was a great opportunity. 1 second, I will land, Isaac. It was a great opportunity for Joseph Boakai at the time when he took over as CPP chair after a phenomenal leadership as a display by Alex Cummings as chair of the CPP. When Joseph Boakai and Alex were a knucklehead, and when all of this investigation about alteration and fingering of documentation, when all of this stuff was going on, I expected Joseph Boakai to come and say, "Look, gentlemen, this is not the time for this. We have a pending election coming up, and we need all of our resources. We need all of our minds."
Man, we talking about first year performance. You talking about history.
I'm laying the premise as to why you did not believe that Joseph Boakai had anything within him or has shown anything prior to his presidency of rescuing anything, of being a leader. His decision making, Joseph Boakai decision making, something we mentioned during the campaign, had always been a problem. Look at how he handled the VP pick with the Henry Costa and the rest of them. It was a total chaos. It didn't have to go that way. Joseph Boakai could have easily picked up the phone and said, "Hey, my son, this is my decision." He did not even consult with his collaborator. The current Senate Pro Tem mentioned, and she admitted that she had no idea who Joseph Boakai VP pick was, even after they had announced the VP pick. So, from all indication, Joseph Boakai had not exhibited any kind of leadership to prove that when he becomes president of Liberia, given what he was inheriting, that he would have led differently. Now, let's come back to his first year. I said that to say that Joseph Boakai's first year has been a total chaos. There has been absolutely no principal policy decision made that we've seen tangibles to. Number one. Number two, this government pounded George Weah and his institution of being unprepared for day one. They said that George Weah had no idea he would become president. As a result, he did not come to office prepared to do anything. Anything. A serious leader hits the ground running on day one. Alex Cummings had a plan on day one. You had an idea what Alex Cummings would have done in day one when he took office. What is foreign policy? What is education? What is agriculture? What is tourism? Some kind of action would have shifted differently than the government that they inherited. What has the Unity Party done that has shifted on corruption than George Weah? That have shifted on appointing folks based on merits than George Weah? That have shifted on speaking to the Liberian people? They said George Weah was hiding. When was the last time Joseph Boakai had a press conference telling the Liberian people, reassuring them of his policy and the implementation of his policy? When was the last time? I said he has done nothing. When Joseph Boakai was VP, we had what recently is happening at the legislature. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, at the time when she wanted Edwin Snow out, we saw this same thing play out. But did we see this level of lawlessness? Did we see this level of chaos, Isaac? Did we see this level of chaos where the U.S. Embassy had to issue statements on the importance of sustaining the fragile peace Liberia have enjoyed all of these years? We never saw that. You know why? Because Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had a backbone that Joseph Boakai does not, and he has not displayed that he had. Ellen Johnson had the leadership that Joseph Boakai has lacked. Ellen Johnson showed how to deal with these issues. We had student protests all along. He was VP. She dealt with this issue accordingly. Now, to my point, in the first year, there's been nothing shown so far. On jobs creation, nothing. On the rule of law, nothing. On healthcare, on security, national security, on foreign policy, there have been not a single foreign policy shift. We don't know his direction when it comes to foreign policy. The only good thing Joseph Boakai has done that I've given credit for was the appointment of the University of Liberia. But guess what? On the contrary, the University of Liberia has been closed going 1 year now. Why? Under George Weah's first year, we did not see the University of Liberia closed. And this is the guy that Unity Party said did not understand or appreciate education. Under his first year, there was free education after protests and after the students met with him. We have free education. Was it at the level of quality? Was it at the level of standard we want? Absolutely not. But it wasn't close. We can laugh all day. What we're seeing under this administration is total chaos. They have not been prepared on day one. And for anyone, any logical person, any sensible person to come on this platform and say, oh, we will grade the president, or there's a blueprint that has been happening behind closed door. Blueprint? When is this blueprint going to take shape? When are we? They did not know that they would come to government. They had a plan called arrest. We talk about this plan on the drive. Oh, why are they not putting a plan together? Why did we not have a plan put together, ready to implement on day one? This is what you expect from a serious leader. This is what you expect from a serious president. And Joseph Boakai, before he became president, did not exhibit that. And I'm not surprised that he has not shown that in the first year. So if you ask me for a grade, I give Joseph Boakai 10%. 10% because he's president of Liberia and the country has not fallen yet. The country has not fallen yet. The country is not burning. We have the total lawlessness in this country. Look at the drug war. This president said, Isaac, he would have, look, LDA would have been priority number one. What did we see with LDA? His decision of appointing a highly unprofessional, highly temperament guy in A.B. Cloman proved very clear. He did not have what it took to work with someone else who had different ideas than his. Even if you don't agree, you take a serious leader and say, you know what, we don't agree, but what is the principal interest here? He did not have that. It pushed that whole LDA fight against George back almost 3 months. He had an investigation on his desk for 3 months, Isaac, before he made any serious decision of reappointing. Look at what LDA is now. Are we still fighting drugs? Look at the Access Recovery Team. He took Martin Kula, a guy who has absolutely no idea on what he was doing, and took all of these politically appointed guys with no idea what they were doing and put them on asset recovery. After 1 year, what have been recovered? Where are we with that? So Joseph Boakai, decisions after decisions, policies after policies, under his watch, has proof.
Asa recover is in the case, is in the court.
And Rob,
Asa
and
recover
Rob,
is in the
we
court.
have-
At the scene,
we
John,
have
you're fighting
two
the
speakers.
case. Asa recover in the
Two
court.
speakers.
I said, stop
It's in
playing.
the court.
You admit that you guys made a terrible mistake because you didn't like George Weah. It was either George Weah, either nobody else but George Weah, and you did that. And I told you,
And they said that.
I don't subscribe to this idea where anything but George Weah. No, we don't. Our country don't want anything but George Weah. We want candidates who have proved that they can do better than George Weah or anyone else. Clearly, Joseph Boakai has not proven that, and clearly it was a terrible mistake to have Joseph Boakai and Unity Party as the alternative to CDC, and yet we are today.
Right. Oh, who you supported in 2023 for president? Who you supported?
I was independent. I didn't endorse anyone.
Robert, who did you support?
I did not endorse.
Oh, you didn't endorse anyone.
Yeah,
No, you did not. And I did not on the second
I
round.
said you will not force me to endorse candidates
Look,
that don't subscribe to my
reality is-
principles. I did not endorse anyone. I didn't see anyone to
and
endorse.
Robert and
Look,
my sister,
look,
I'm gonna
look.
go. I'm gonna go. I have some paper to do, but let's have this conversation next time. If I was to be honest to give a point, given that we never ever let we are breathe even to start off, and I was one of those people. You know, by April we are already protested. By May we were at UN. We were in the street, both Liberia and there. All right, and assistance. But let me say to the Liberian people, I would give we are 50 because he came with no experience. And we say he was not educated, he did not. Boakai is underneath that. And that's the honest truth. I'm being generous, just giving him 40%. He does not even deserve my 40%. When I hear you say,
But again, in the real grade.
but that's the okay. I would say 20 if I should. Okay, giving so that means he falsified his resume. Okay,
In the first year, we are 6 years.
Listen, maybe he has a degree mill. I'm not saying, I'm talking about when you have stuff that you really don't have. It's literally in theory, and you cannot perform in practical. That's how I see it. But to before I leave, let me say to y'all. And when I hear Liberian people say, "Let's do this for peace sake," you are not doing it for peace sake. When children go to bed in the night,
I don't believe in that peace sick thing. No.
okay, that's not peace sake. The law, there is no nation
Neither
that
do
will
I.
persevere or will prosper without the rule of law. When I hear people say, let a person resign for peace sake, no, you want them resign for your sake. So I will say this way: if we want to change Liberia, there should be a standardized code or a value system that everyone, regardless of their status, where they're born, where their tribe is, where they live, that everyone abide by. It needs to be a nation of meritocracy, not political party, not where tribe, okay? And that's what brought the 14 years of civil war. So I will say this before I go: we don't need a blueprint in the back. You work for us. We gave you power. Our people gave you power. A year ago or a year and a half ago, Pape Boakai did not make decision for us. He did not have the budget. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. He was asking people to even pay his way. Today, he got private jet, but our children are in school almost 1 year. Okay? Our kids are dying. Our women are dying in JFK hospital calling because they can't afford $150 or $200 for operation. All right? So, I have expectation. I have expectation because this gentleman came highly recommended, bragging
He's
about
saying the same thing again. He said you gotta go.
But you say you gotta go. You saying the same thing, but you're not being fair because 1 year to compare 6 years to 1 year. Wow.
No.
Anyway, so this is wrong.
We're not doing 6 years. We're doing just 1 year.
No, Josh, we are the 6 years. And Boakai only done 1. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to work on Friday because we have snow day. So, but now I have deadline to meet, so I have to go do deadline. Like Liberia, I can't call my boyfriend, I can't call my auntie. I don't even know what my human resource person looks like.
Again.
So I have job to do. I have to do that job. Thank you for having me. Thank you for sending the invitation. It was great being here. Isaac,
Again.
brother, it's always good to see you. Love and respect. I just have an opinion, and I have a
Again,
belief system,
when they
and I
say,
stand by
thank
it.
you, yeah, thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
I appreciate you, Yasini. Everybody has an opinion. Look,
Thank you.
that's why my question was, when it was saying rescue, after you rescue, what happens? Anybody can go to a disaster scene. The person point, you take them from the fire. What is the care that you're providing for them?
Because that's the most important part. That's the vital part.
The problem right now with the situation. The country, quote unquote, was rescued. What happens? Even if you somebody drowning, you take them from the ocean. Are you capable to get them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? Are you capable to squeeze the stomach for all the salt water to count other aid? Are you capable in terms of providing necessary emergency service? So that's the problem. And that's why our people don't understand. So we have voted and elected our government in place. And that's what we're going by. The government are in place.
Good evening, Mr. Timani, if you don't mind, can I come in?
Go ahead. Was somebody talking? I finished. Land.
Well, yeah, after him,
let me finish what I'm saying, Zaza.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reality of the situation is, whether elected or not, in a democracy, you have elected somebody for 6 years, right? They person will be here for 6 years. Then you look at where you started from and make some comparisons, okay? Whether that economic indicators you're comparing, whether the actual results from that first year against the second year. Again, data is not really, we talk about data today, Tomalin. We don't really collect our own data to really make accurate comparisons of different people. We just look at things that happen as opposed to the actual substantive data that behind those things. So everybody will come up with, I supported man, because you feel a pain, right now, people who hungry, who scrapping, yes. Well, question, they will say just about 0. People who were under George Weah, and were suffering, they will say George Weah was 0. But we're not looking at the comparative data line by line and saying who did better here, who did better there, who did better. And there's some of the international reports, when they come out in terms of human rights and stuff, we'll see all these reports that are coming out about these situations. But human rights result to violence in any kind of disagreement, or we got to dominate somebody, whether physically or not. We got to scream louder. We got to dominate them for us to come to resolution. Is that democracy? I don't know. But the people, and it started from 2003, that have all this turmoil, and people in the US and stuff, they're not really removed from that. They suffer PTSD too, because situation will happen with
their families,
with their friends, and they were watching stuff on TV. You get affected, and we have not reached to this situation where we are really looking at the mental health of our people. So we're suffering. But Zaza, go ahead. Zaza.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alva, and thanks to everyone on the show. Timani, in my opinion, when it comes to the grading, it depends on individuals' political alignment.
Yes.
People who are in support of Weah will giving the grade favorite to them.
Yep.
People in support of GNB will give grade that they think is favorable to him. But if we should consider the two of them in the first year, let us do it with statistics from one sector to another. You compare them.
Thank you, Zaza.
If possible, if you are able to access some website to compare those data, you do it.
Exactly.
If you don't have them, then let's do the physical aspect of them. So for me, I can't grade. I will only give the instances of both of them. We have for a year, auditors die. You said for a year, protesters die. It's the same Liberian that were killed. People got killed, and they said they were auditors, and people got killed, and they said they were protesters in Sinje. It's the same Liberian. 2 of them got blood. It depends on which one you want to grade above the other. In Georgia, for a year, people protested. I mean, the largest protest we ever know in our history happened on Georgia in the first year. Joseph Boakai, we haven't had any kind of large protest. The first protest the people tried to have, it was interrupted because of what was happening at the Capitol. During we time, we never had so much noise at the Capitol as it is happening now. During we time, we heard about the 16 billion get missing. Even though we don't have that kind of amount of money get missing on Joseph Boakai, so you can say Joseph Boakai did well on that side by safeguarding our money. During we lied to us about Iboma and Eaton. Joseph Boakai too came with Patu, yellow machines, and little buses. So the people they are joined hand in hand. CDC and Unity Party are brothers and sisters from the same ma or from the same pa. Either one of them are they from the same ma and they get different father, or they from the same father and they got different mother. But the people they are just the same. So you can't just grade them just like that. It will be biased. It will be hard.
Yeah.
If you don't like Joseph Boakai, you're getting failing grade. If you like him, you're getting passing grade. If you don't like Joe, you're getting failing grade, or if you like him, you're getting passing grade. So for me, my opinion, since I don't have all the facts available to me, I can't independently grade any of them. It'll be biased, and I'll be lying to the Liberian people saying we are on the radio or maybe we're on the show and people listening to us. So on the grading, I beg you, spare me. Let's go to the case of the police, the one happening at the Capitol. You know, when the only thing you have is dry rice, and because you want to live, you eat the rice. Because you know you don't eat your business will finish, you die. During the war, some other people used to like certain things, but we ate it because that was the only thing that was available to us. What am I saying is that until we can have a better force that we can have better than Liberia National Police, we just have to live with National Police for now. But we can still recommend. It doesn't mean that we don't trust them or they are not credible. In my opinion, for the sake of politics and to reduce the noise that we experience in 2024, I would prefer an independent body to investigate what is happening at the Capitol. And my reason is, I said to investigate what happened at the Capitol. I don't say audit.
Oh, okay.
The fire incident at the Capitol. I would prefer an independent body to investigate. And the reason is this. The police, there are several videos out there where the police went to the Capitol building overnight to protect the place. Mm-hmm. Prior to this happening, there were PSU at the Capitol building that night. So now, something happened at the Capitol. We are leaving the PSU, the police that was there. Okay, let me just leave that one before I come to the point. When the assassination attempt on Trump happened, the Secret Service, head of the Secret Service resigned. They did not tell the head of the Secret Service to go investigate. Because it is her group that were in the crossfire when that thing happened. So if you give her the chance to go and investigate, she might do some cover up. So they say first thing she must resign. Then they appointed different people to investigate that assassination attempt on Trump. I think all of us that have followed the story will know. I think I expect to happen in Liberia. Since there were PSU at the Capitol building, the police shouldn't be the one to investigate what is happening at the Capitol building. The police they are already compromised. I'm not saying that way, it's the wrong way. But I will say they are already a party. The fact that you were there and it happened. You can investigate yourself. Even no matter how credible you are, the opposition will have a reason to feel that your information is not true. So to avoid that kind of for your own safety, for your own character, I would prefer the police IG recuse himself. It may not sound well, but I think that's the way we will have peace in Liberia. Because the fact that the police were there, that brings them to question. If no police were there in our ordinary security, we can say police go ahead. But the fact that police, PSU were at that place that night and it happened, they don't invite different people for the sake of the country. This is not about politics. This is the head of the country. The first branch of government is being destroyed by fire.
But police is not the only security institutional handle in a serious country for that matter. I'll give you an example.
It's a joint security thing.
I agree, but the police have been serving as the spokesperson. That's what I'm saying.
The feds have taken over, for instance, immediately. Now, not because the New Orleans police were compromised, but because to have a fair and balanced, and the fact that they are more equipped, for that matter, to have a fair and balanced investigation of what recently happened in New Orleans, the federal government took over the investigation, and not the New Orleans police or sheriff office. So again, if the police is compromised, and the government is serious about reassuring the general public, especially those who have serious doubts about the professionalism of the police, then they should be able to make that decision. But the question is, to your request, is this government serious enough to make serious decisions? And my answer to that is absolutely not. I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think it's what?
I don't think it's going to happen because this government is not serious enough when it comes
That's
to
what I'm saying. You see, right now, like what you're saying, logically, even if the police is right, the logic you're making, it makes sense. Because police is a party. Now, let us go by a little bit. When there was a fight on the Capitol and the police went there, we saw police beating on some lawmakers. Now, so if anybody from those lawmakers' office actually did this, and you arrest them, the lawmakers say no, because people are being against me, so they decide to come after me this way. So to avoid to avoid this thing going the other way to be political, say it is the nation asset, let us do it in a way that people will not have doubt. You may be right, but the fact that people get doubt, to avoid audit, even in courts, if you went to a court and the judge has some kind of link, to avoid people having doubt, the judge will recuse himself.
Zaza, let me ask you a question. Zaza, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
The same way you just said, in terms of people rating, the Jowiya people will say Boyga Messer, the Boyga people will say Jowiya Messer. Yes. Regardless of what decision you bring, they call the best investigator in America there or Europe or wherever and bring them to Liberia and investigate. Either way that decision go, you think everybody will be satisfied? People don't stay say something behind it. People that did this, they did that. Look, let me answer you, Mr. Noise. 1 second now. The noise will always be in the market. I don't care what you do, the noise will be in the market. At the end of the day, it's whether it will be majority to influence when you go to the ballots. That's the big look. Let Trump come into power now. Trump will do anything he wants to do in this country. He will send all the alien people back. He will do whatever. When it comes to the next 4 years for the next election, if the people majority want him, they will elect him.
Mr. Tupac, there's precedent
for a better Liberia.
Yeah, but in our case, there's a precedent. In this case, there's precedent in our country.
Yeah,
it happened in the case of the executive mansion. When it happened in the executive mansion, they brought experts from outside, and everybody accepted it because of political reasons.
So you comparing apple and oranges, though.
The Capitol building, the executive mansion, they were fired. The executive mansion.
Where in Liberia?
Where?
The executive mansion fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 2006. You are saying no matter what you do,
that I don't think that's more of a political.
Yeah, that's not comparative. There was no contention.
Yeah, I think it's a little.
There was. Is a clear contention.
No, there was, Mr. Tupac. There was.
It's a little different.
No, there was. You didn't follow it at all. Even somebody got fired for it because they said they were opposition want to assassinate the woman.
So what about?
But those, yes, but hold on.
So let's talk about the 16 billion.
I got call on people. I gotta go.
Yeah, they would not get investigators from abroad about the 16 billion, and they had they forensic and everything came to Liberia. And I mean, how did that go? Did the country rely on the fundings of those investigators that came from abroad? Those were Americans, forensic, professionals. So to Isaac's point, again, the level of politics, even the Supreme Court ruling, right? For instance, we have a tendency of taking from things that we want to take from things that suit our own narratives and fit our own political benefit. I think that's within our blood when it comes to Liberians, especially those involved in politics, right? People don't just take things as is. There'll always be some sort of interpretation and opinion, and you put it to A, they put it to B, you put it to B, they put it to C. That's just who we are. So to your point, yes, these kinds of situations require independent investigators, foreigners. So no questions are asked. Liberians don't think that one politician was against the other politician, and so they influenced the decision of the investigation. I agree with you on that. But are we spending our money wisely on these investigations when in fact Liberians who support a particular political party, who don't think independently, who are not nationalists, right? Because it's one thing to be affiliated with a political party. It's another thing to say, you know what, my man, I think you guys dropped the ball on this one. Based on the facts and the foundings, I think you guys dropped the ball. There's no way around it. But we're so polarized in our country. Any investigation will always have a twist, and people will interpret it the right way. So if we know nothing good will come out of it, why waste resources on it? I mean, why waste that?
Can I add to that? It's the same thing with that case with the lady who got killed, and it said was TB, and they brought the an independent person, a pathologist on the scene, and we have one in Liberia. But what it did, that case just went down the tube.
For me, I don't believe it was TB. In my opinion, I don't think it was TB.
No, in my opinion, I share the same view. In my opinion, I believe it was not relating to TB at all. But I just go to say the way we think. The independent people come in. The first thing they say, oh man, the president paid this person. Oh, that person. I mean, opinions will be flying all over. No satisfaction, no matter how hard you try. But guys, I thank you all for having me on your show. Yeah. It's kind of late yet. It's almost, I'm getting ready to wrap up my trip to come back, to the States. So let me go and take some ZZ. I enjoyed the program. I enjoy listening to you guys. And before I leave, I say, let us not be hasty. You guys, unfortunately, don't know the entirety of who's part of the investigation. But if the police were the first on the scene, then it reminds me of the O.J. Simpson case. Marcia she was the first on the scene. And so because of that, it prevented her from being the prosecutor. Right. So if the police were on that scene, then I can honestly say, let them remove the police. That's what and let because what's going to happen is national joint security. The whole investigation is not just the police. You have NSA, you have the fire, you have all national joint security is involved in this, right?
I want to suggest
along with the partners.
Let her finish, please. Let her finish.
No, I just want her to incorporate it. When she finishes, I want her to incorporate it so that she will end with it. Even at that, the police don't have to recuse themselves. They can be in the back. They don't have to be in the front.
Listen, it will not be. There's no way you can exclude the police, but the police will not stay here. That's just the bottom line to it. Yeah. Because if they were actively on the scene the whole week, or like his name, Representative Yeke Koluba said, then let someone else share this. And if need be, during the investigation, if you have to invite the police to give their side, hey, bring them up, question them. No man is above the law. But when, I gave O.J. Simpson example. Marcia didn't participate because she was on the scene, first on the scene. So let's give everybody an opportunity. What I've learned in my years is that high-profile cases are very sensitive. And so, if you know you will not do the right thing, look, recuse yourself. It's just simple. This is a very serious matter. I was broken when I saw the fire at this Capitol building. I'm in Liberia right now. Every day I drive by, I'll be like, oh my God, how did we get to this point? You know, what was, okay, at the end of the day, you did it. And so what? Are you happy? But we don't know whether it was electrical or intentional fire.
Exactly. So
I'm not going to jump to the guns and say, yeah, this person did it and that person did it. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm waiting patiently.
There you go. And that's what Joseph Boakai should have done. That's what the president of Liberia
I think the president spoke too hastily. He did something that Obama did during his first term. When in New York, I will never forget when 9/11 took place, because I was in New York at the time. 9/11 took place. Obama said, oh, the people won't build the mosque. Excuse me, sir. Are you adding salt to injury?
Well, Obama was not president.
He was president.
No, it was Bush.
No, it was George Bush. Obama wasn't president.
I said, was that George Bush? 9/11 again? Is that Bush?
Yeah.
When Obama took over, wait, guys, let me give me a chance to learn. When Obama made that remark, because I was living in New York, he came to visit New York and he said,
that question what he made the remark, I said he wasn't president.
Okay, well, he must have taken over. It took place September 11.
Yeah,
Obama came to power when? He came to power November. He came to power 2008, and 9/11 was when?
9/11 was 2001, 2002.
2021. 2001.
Okay.
2001.
When Obama went to visit the site.
Maybe you are senator, eh?
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't president. He wasn't even senator.
Okay.
He was a state.
Whatever he was a public figure, and he made that remark.
No, the reason why I'm saying that is the president.
Okay, he was that president. I take that.
The president might have more weight than a state representative or state senator. That's the point that I'm making.
I understand that. I understand all of that. The bottom line is, because of that remark he made in New York, he didn't have to. He lost out on some votes because people were hurt. People lost lives. And you come up and say, oh, the Muslim people just want to build a mosque. I was there for me. I was like, I'm not voting for this man. And I never did.
So that's
right. All I'm saying is we got to be careful. The president you made reference to Boakai, and I'm in agreement, because at this point the president should be the last to speak, not the first to speak. Don't be hasty. You're the head of the country.
Thank you. So Tomolin, come on. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate that. Thanks to everyone for listening. The after hour show is a new idea that we're coming up with to involve some of our listening audience. So if you got something to share, if you want to come on, everyone can come on, of course, but we don't mind sending you the link to come on and participate and be a partner to what we do. But thank you for listening to us. But let me say this, man. I was ready I want Isaac to come back.
About Robert, somebody said this is the most fiercest defense of George Weah administration ever they have seen since the election. And Robert, you came you came prepared for this event, but which I know it didn't happen that way. But
no, it didn't happen that way.
People text me and said, "My man, Robert was on fire for the last 10 minutes." he made a very fierce defense of the Weah first.
Because I know Isaac and others.
No, but you see, for me, I'll say this, right? Like my friend Isaac Dogan said, you can lie with the power, you cannot lie to govern.
There you go.
So most of the things were about during the election, the propaganda that was said, the harmonization. They said, well, harmonize our pay, harmonize your votes. So now, somebody came on our show. Somebody said, I challenge the UP government if they cannot reverse harmonization. the IMF or IMF and Standard Chartered on the same page. IMF says how much is going to be reversed will be impossible. Now, so and then the thing is that everything that they accuse the we are of people are doing, for me, honestly, I had a hope. I said, but it'll be different. But now everything is and people are saying they're even doing worse now. The private jet business, they attack we are for that thing consistently.
There you go.
The flying jet in the air, and then Burger have made 13 trips. They want.
He's made more trip in his first year than
yeah. So and people said well, we are first trip to France. I think he got $10 million on that trip for when he went the first trip to France. Yep. People say I get to see, but then when you talk to the Burger people, they say, well, you'll see 2025. Only thing that happened 2024.
My point is exactly they just 1 year and all of your just acting is to say the 6 years.
So we have 1 year.
So you know what?
Got the most criticism from the beginning.
So Mr. George, you know when it comes to Joshua, I don't even like to go there. You know I don't, because you know the disappointment. As you know, you and I know. You're talking now about Sametua, you know I don't even like to hear the name. Oh. Because you know what we put on the paper and what was expected. Yeah. Like she said, her expectation was high, mine was high also. Because even though he was not educated to the level of what is education, he had a degree, so he was academically qualified. However,
no, but Senator DeLon, like what Robert said, right? Robert went work. He went my point.
Huh? My man, I'm doing that with you. We are kind of Joshua. I'm talking straight. I don't care who's listening. Joshua himself can be listening. I'm not going there with Joshua administration. I'm sorry.
Robert
I beg to yeah, please allow me to excuse myself on that other conversation.
I appreciate you coming. I mean, Ruthie, you know, we've come a long way, and
yeah, it was.
I know, yeah. I like to hear that Christmas.
I'm happy that you came. You join us. Hopefully, when you get back to the States, you will try to join us something our late next time. I mean, wherever you have.
Well, you know, to be honest with you, I'm always up during the night. I go to sleep every night. Unfortunately, I work nights. But I'm a night bird, so it's fine with me.
So thanks for coming up. I gotta excuse myself. So we'll see tomorrow.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. And tomorrow we have the Deputy Minister of Information will be our guest, Dana Sano. So we have a good show tomorrow. Let's see what happens. But Ruthie,
thank you, Mr. Judge, for bringing me on.
Please call me.
I'll call you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call me after the show, please.
I'll call you. I'll call you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks to you guys.
Our audience, thanks. We miss it. Okonra Yinka, Officer Yinka. Thank you, CC Colley, Cecil Colley, Anthony W. Gates Sr., Claire Riches. I want to say thank you guys for being with us. We'll continue once you guys will appear sometime, man. You guys come. Conrad Yinka, you are a police officer in the New Jersey Police, EM New Jersey, librarian. Train 1-2. Comment. Let's talk about security. Smith Dawie. That dude is their brother is vocal. He don't hold back his punches. He don't condemn cities at UP. He can't. Smith, they don't spare two parties. Go after them. He don't spare them. I know. Yeah, but I like him. He's objective man. He's always to the point. You don't take no punches back. And we'll see. Be thankful, Addison, Melvin Cador, Doris Cooper, Daisy Wisa, or my own Nora Hawks. Yes. So let me see. Meg Walker, Zuba Ronald Roberts, Aquino B. Watson, the UJ Park Dave. I want to say thanks, man. Guys, I want to see some of you guys appearing, man. So hopefully tomorrow on Friday night when you guys not working, you kind of have fun on the show, man. Actual, factual. Yeah, thank you, Yesenia, for coming. Oh God, yeah. So you come to join us, man. Okay. Now I gotta. My daughter been coughing. I gotta go attend to her now. So, guys, it's been a good show. Thank you. Have a nice day. Good night.